you had a front row seat, certainly in Denver last year, for what happened with Russell Wilson. Just moments ago, he was named the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. What went wrong for Russ last year that can inform us about his opportunity for success in this new spot, James?
Well, so much in this league, Rich, is about fit, and it just didn't fit. It didn't fit from what Sean was asking of him to what probably Russ's skill set is. And there's been something that's gone on during this training camp, honestly, from Sean Payton on a pretty semi-regular basis that kind of hints at that repeatedly. He says over and over again, sacks are on the quarterback, in his opinion. And that was a big issue in Denver. The number of sacks that Russell Wilson took, I think there was only like 2 or 3 guys that took more sacks last year, maybe 4, than Russell Wilson. That was a big issue in how this offense was being played and how it was schemed and how quickly, he wants the ball out of the quarterback's hands and how he wants the quarterback to play the position. We saw a difference in Russ from the year before, which was just atrocious. And we did see, a difference in him in the right direction, but it just really didn't fit from what, Sean wanted to do. You see what he has in Bo Nix. That checks all the boxes, in my opinion, of what Sean's looking for in a quarterback. It was kind of, Sean did take the job, but an arranged marriage in some sense. And fit was number one. And Sean was looking to move on from it. And we'll see if it fits in Pittsburgh. It's going to be an interesting one. I think week 1, name the starter. I think more interesting will be end of the year. Who do we have as the quarterback in Pittsburgh? I'm looking to keep an eye on that.
Well, and again, that is the ultimate question, and because Russ wasn't the starter by the end of the year in Denver last year, and again, the question is it diminishing skills, or is it fit? And that's going to be the ultimate question here that I'm wondering. You're already nodding your head like you may have an answer to that. I mean, Nobody has the answer until we actually see snaps, right? But I'll give you the floor.
Exactly. Here. Yeah, and I've talked to some people around the league about this competition, and I was hearing from more than one person, like, I think it might be time to start catering this offense to Justin Fields. And it was brought up to me by some people that know Arthur really, really well. It was, you could go take all the stuff he ran with Marcus Mariota and just reinsert that back into the playbook.
Right.
All the stuff that uses Justin Fields as, and we can call him this, I think, an elite runner, honestly, with the football in his hands, with the size and the speed and the ability to run the football. And can you lean on that? And some people around the league are like, you do that, you run the football well, you have a really good defense, you limit the time that, other offenses are on the field, Rich, and you have maybe something, because these are two pretty similar quarterbacks in their strengths and in their weaknesses. The one thing that set Russ apart from Justin Fields, we could all agree on, is that magic in the fourth quarter, that he just has the ability. We saw it actually in Denver this past year, the way he was able to make plays in the fourth quarter. But that's the thing we're keeping our eye on the most. Is that magic still there? Because I do think we all believe that's somewhat diminishing. If that magic's still there, that's the separating factor, really, between the two of them, because they have a lot of the same flaws.
Also, the issue is that if Russ is going to become a backup quarterback, you got to give him the opportunity to turn himself into that, as opposed to you saying, things are somewhat equal here. We're going to go with the kid, and then Russ suddenly has an earbud after you gave him ownership of the team, right, as a leader in the locker room and things of that nature. This way, you give him full ownership. You let him do the Russ thing, the leadership thing, and let him try and play up from there. And maybe you sprinkle in a little bit of Justin Fields, and that's the way you go. And if it doesn't go that way, it's better to hand the offense over to Justin Fields midseason rather than the other way around.
Exactly. And I think the part of Mike Tomlin, addressing the media, Rich, was when he said this was a really difficult decision. So it wasn't like he came out, and you see this in some of the other competitions. We're naming Russell Wilson the starter. It's because he did it's a difficult decision. So I think what you're saying is exactly right. It's easier to make the switch if this is the layout than if it was reversed.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.